What's up, guys? Welcome back to Keto Rewind. I'm Jess, and today's video is going to be a pep talk for you come the first of the year. Before we get started, I want to clarify a couple things. One, I'm not a medical doctor. I'm not a health professional, none of that stuff. My entire YouTube channel is based off of my own experience losing weight using a ketogenic diet, carnivore, ketovore, intermittent fasting, and stuff like that. So you have to be your own health advocate and make these decisions and your own research. And that's the first thing. Second thing would be you have to do you. This is what's worked for me, but you've got to do what works best for you. Everything I say isn't going to maybe even work for you. But I think it's fair that you need to do your own research and talk to your own doctor before getting started. And the third thing is, if you are new here and you like seeing this content, please consider subscribing. Hit that red link down below with the bell icon so you don't miss any of my updates. And then with that being said, let's get started. So February 11th, 2019, I decided to start my journey to lose weight and rewind my health from a morbidly obese 309 pounds to, obviously I'm not done yet. I'm only 10 months into my journey, but I've been able to lose 96 pounds in that time, essentially 44 or 45 weeks. So I feel like at this point in the game, I do want to share some advice, maybe some things that people or websites, just stuff that I've come across during my journey that would be helpful for you. The first thing that I feel is worth mentioning is when I went to start my journey, my mindset going into the journey was kind of impatient and, for lack of better words, not really prioritized or focused. I had no idea what to expect. I didn't even know what I was going to do. I didn't even think I was going to get this far. I didn't think I'd be standing here today talking to you and sharing my story. So when I say my mindset really wasn't in the right place, my mindset was just, I was so tired of being fat and so unhealthy and so miserable that I was willing to change anything so that I could stop being that way. And being in a place, you don't get to 309 pounds and so unhappy and miserable and hating the person you see in the mirror every day without a couple of years or a long time it happened. It didn't happen overnight. The weight gain time took place over 15, 16 years. So when I went into this originally, I wasn't expecting all of my hard work, all of this to come to light and actually work. I went in with the pure thing, I weighed 309 pounds, I wanted to weigh 169 pounds, and I needed to lose 140 pounds to get there. Like, that was the main focus. It was focused on the scale. What I found out by doing this weight loss journey was I'm excited. I'm going to hit my goal weight in 2020. And that's going to be great. But what I didn't expect is the shift from the scale to the mindset that I am walking around with today. I thought my journey was literally going to only be about the number that's on the scale, that I defined my self-worth with. So my mindset, or the happy place that my head is in now, 10 months into this journey, is so much, that's pretty much the focus of my journey now. I'm at such a better place emotionally, mentally, obviously physically, without a doubt, that's a part of the puzzle. But my emotional state going through this journey is where my head is at, and where the sweet spot of this journey is what I'm most proud about. When I originally started losing the weight, I was excited to see the scale drop. in a quick recap of my month, or like to where I am now, first probably 3 solid months, I had dropped a big portion of my weight. I want to say I was down 50 pounds in 3 months or so, around that. I have to double check the numbers in my previous videos, but a huge chunk came off fast first in my journey. So then as I got more comfortable and more familiar with the journey in itself, I let up a little bit, let some other stuff in, let some outside noise come in, and it then became like kind of more of a hot mess. But I was still making progress. I was not giving up. And I was learning stuff about myself that I didn't know, or maybe I brought back from the past that is now kind of like the person that I wanted to be is coming back after the layers of the weight was coming off. So where I am today, in this journey I felt like it's such an emotional roller coaster. And yes, a large part of this journey so far has been about weight loss. But I feel the significant portion, the portion that I want to talk about, is the emotional side of the weight loss. So when I want to give someone advice, if you haven't even started keto, maybe you've started keto and you fell off the wagon, or maybe you dabbled in it, or you did low carb or paleo or Whole30, which are all kind of similar thought or methods, guidelines with little differences here and there that separates each weight loss lifestyle. But I want to give you the advice that be prepared for the mental, emotional roller coaster that's going to come, and be okay with going through that journey. Yes, like I said, the weight loss was great. The physical changes that it was coming in my body were great. I almost can't believe at this point, and I'm not even done, that I ever let myself get so unhealthy, get so morbidly obese. Yes, that's part of it. Yes, physical. But the emotional side of how much stronger of a person that I'm at, or the place that I'm at, my outlook on life going forward, my perseverance and my never willing to quit part was unexpected. That was something that I wasn't prepared for that. I didn't know I was a sugar addict prior to February 11th, 2019. I didn't realize that the only way the weight was going to come off was with my hard work. Nobody else could do it for me. Nobody else could speak on my behalf. Nobody else could tell me what to do. It was all going to come from me, come within. And that part was something that I think is so much more worth it than the actual number on the scale going down. That's the part that I'm most proud of. I can show you a clip from the beginning of my journey. I'll insert it right here. All right, I am on day 7 of keto. I'm making this video so you can track my progress. I am down 8 pounds in 7 days, and wanted to give a quick video of what my current body shape is. And I will be back to post more updates. You can see how timid, how shy, how I don't want to say I was in a dark place, but you could just see what I'm talking about. You could see that I emotionally was not the person I am today. Definitely wasn't positive and happy, and the bubbly person that I've the bubbly person that I have come back to after hiding for so many years under those layers of fat. So you can see in the progression of my weekly videos how much I kept coming out of my shell, and that emotional roller coaster at first was overwhelming because I didn't want to admit that I was a sugar addict. So that was something I had to come to terms with. I didn't want to let anybody think that I was anything other than strong and capable, and like I hid away from the world because I felt like I wasn't good enough, and if anybody knew that I wasn't good enough, then they'd catch me in my my fake life. Like I didn't really want to come out and show people how sad and tired and unhappy I was. So it was easier just to hide from life and stay in a little perfect bubble. But that comes at a cost. I hid from life for like 15, 16 years. I lost friends by disconnecting and not wanting to be part of life again. I had fertility issues with my husband trying to create our family. Not to mention the health effects that I did to the damage being so morbidly obese for so many years. So when you go through a mental, like there's obviously weight loss in the journey, but the mental side of the journey is like 90%. And to come back into life and to like gain that confidence every day and start living again, that is what I'm so excited for you to experience, because I started living life again. I used this journey to basically get back up again, and I'm in such a great place now. So the first thing, if somebody would have told me that this journey, this weight loss journey, was going to be an emotional journey, I would have said you're crazy. I would have never thought I could possibly have had a problem. I'd have never admitted that. And I personally would have never thought that I would be more happy with the mental side of the challenge versus the weight loss, like the number on the scale. The scale is what was just such a burden to me for so many years. And all along, it was the mental side that was really the problem. It wasn't the number on the scale. It was my reaction of my self-worth looking at me on that number, So it was very interesting, and I wanted you to have a heads up and know that your mindset going into this, you may think it's all about the scale, but the real reality of a weight loss journey is going to be the emotional roller coaster you're about to hop on and put your arms up and take a big plunge, because that's the most rewarding and the most exciting part about this. So that's the first thing I want to talk about. The second thing I want to talk about, it's not going to be easy. Like I said, going into this, I felt like I didn't have another choice, because I was just so morbidly obese that doctors, family members, friends, everybody was all, concerned about my health, recommending bariatric surgery. And me knowing me, I just knew that wasn't an option for me. The only thing I was going to do was give it one last shot. And when you're a yo-yo dieter like me from the years past, I've tried all the diets. I yo-yoed on all of them. The weight always came back. And it's because I only focused on the scale. I didn't even entertain the emotional side of the journey. And that's what makes the difference. So each time I'd fall down, I'd let my emotions say, well, I guess I'll try again some other time, or maybe I'll try again on next Monday, or maybe I'll try in the first of the month, maybe next month, and I just keep putting it off, and then I gain more weight, restart another diet, fail, and the cycle would just, and then be miserable about that, eat, and then start the roller coaster all over again. So going back now, I wish I would have entertained or been open to the emotional sides of losing weight. And then plus the difference is when I fail now, which, let's be honest, life gets in the way, excuses get the best of me, vacations, stuff like that. Yeah, I'm still failing those times now, even this far into my journey. But what makes the difference now is that I don't quit. I do it. So if I have a hiccup, a mishap, a bad decision, I don't let that cripple me anymore. The next day, the next meal, whichever comes first, I just get back on it, and I'm better at the next chance I get. Instead of beating myself up about it, it won't change the fact that I ate those things that were not on plan. instead of dwelling over that, I just move forward, and then I plan and I get back to basics. And losing the weight, this is part 3. Losing the weight is the simple part of it. It's pretty straightforward. You track your macros, you plan, you research, then you track your macros. And for those of you that follow me that are not morbidly obese, that just have a small amount of weight to lose, and you're able to just eat keto and lose weight without tracking your macros, I applaud you. But for people like me who are morbidly obese, that you are not eating the right serving sizes because you have just been so used to eating massive amounts of food constantly throughout the day, tracking the macros is going to help fix that. And that's why I'm an advocate of tracking the macros. And I know a lot of people don't want to hear that, but it is important. You've got to learn that skill, and I can't do it for you. And like I said, I'm super proud if you were able to do a weight loss journey without ever tracking a macro. Good for you. But the large majority of us that are like me, we have to track our macros and to get that learned again, and how to eat, what's in our food, and get a game plan. And I'm not saying you track your macros forever. You track your macros until you learn it. And at that point, you can then let up. Once you've learned what a proper serving size is, how much is 20 net carbs, you know, what makes up 20 net carbs, all of that stuff. But you can't learn that without tracking your macros. So I wanted to say a lot, like along those lines, I also, part 4 of this is the intermittent fasting approach. And I know a lot of people have excuses of why they don't think they can skip meals, or think it's some starving method, or, you know, whatever the negative things about intermittent fasting. Like, there's a lot of topics that people bash on intermittent fasting. But if you're like me, who is an emotional eater, I'm a stress eater, I'm a binge eater, I'm a sadness eater, I'm a happiness eater, I'm a celebrate everything, let's go eat food eater, I'm just an emotional eater. I eat my emotions. If something upsets me, I ate them, you know. So by using the tool intermittent fasting, I learned how to cope with emotions without food. And that was because I conveniently placed my fasting windows, of which you can customize around your own schedule. But for me, I always put them in the times, my fasting window, and times that I was going to be stressed out. And that meant that when stressful things happened and I do a lot of fasting, I had to relearn on how to actually cope with emotions without using my best friend, sugar. So I highly urge you, if you were to start your journey, please consider adding in intermittent fasting as well. Don't just, it comes so easy with keto because you're not hungry. So then that's why you just use it as the tool to fix the emotional eating side of things. But I also want to say in the 5th one, along with the excuses, I should say, there comes a time when you have to accept reality. And the reality is you're either going to do it or you're going to find an excuse. What do you desire? Sit down and think about, what do you want? Do you want to change? Is the change worth it to you to give up on things that might have been leading you way off course? Is it worth it to you to fix that and start enjoying life again? You know, like, what do you want? If you don't want to give up things that have caused you to get to where you are today, where you're unhealthy or unhappy with yourself, don't you think it's fair to put in the work to fix it, or to, change it? Or do you want to keep on the excuse of saying, I can't do it, I don't know how to track macros, I can't fast, I can't eat fat to lose weight? There's so many I can'ts. If you've ever said to somebody who's for instance, say you have a friend that is so miserable, all they do is say how hungry they are, how tired they are, how unhappy and miserable with their life is, and they're just going on and on and on, and you're sitting there listening to these long lists of excuses, and I know the journey that I've been on the past 10 months would fix all those things, but then you suggest it just a little bit, and then it's like, no, I can't do that, I can't do that, you know, and then they're just, and at that point, I just stopped listening and, you know, yeah, oh yeah. You know, and like, instead of just even, like, I suggest it, but I don't go any further than that. If they're very resistant in the I can'ts or I don't want to's, well, you know what? Then stay where you're at and stay unhappy. Because if you're not willing to put that change in, where you literally are going to take the rug and go like this under what you know, if you're not willing to do that, then you're just gonna stay unhappy and miserable. And that's okay if that's what you choose, because at the end of the day, it's your choice, it's your body, and you're your own health advocate. But what I want to convey here, or just plead with you, is know that I was there 10 months ago. I couldn't have been more miserable, especially revisiting the clip I showed you in the earlier of this video. I was sad. You know, I was not who I am today. I was not standing up proud. I was not anything to be proud of. But that girl in that video wanted change more than anything, because living like that another day was not an option. You know, there was no way to live. So instead of the mindset going in of I can't, I don't want to, I couldn't do that, I don't know how to do that, I changed that to I'm gonna get this done and I'm gonna find a way, I'm gonna figure it out, even if that means I fail a bunch of times along the way. I'm gonna get back up, I'm not gonna quit, and I'm gonna fight for it. So please, if you're miserable where you are currently today, and you want what I've had, and you've been one of the millions of people that, not millions, but thousands of people that comment on my channel, such wonderful, awesome things, let's come along with me, do this with me, find a way and change your life. You don't have to do keto, you can just do intermittent fasting and eat the standard American diet. You know, there's so many ways that you can do it, but come along for the ride. Stop where you are in those tracks, draw a line in the sand and say, I'm not going to go any further that way. I'm going to start going the other way, because that way is the path to more misery. And it's more miserable to stay on that path than to change and do a 180 and just try something new. And what's the worst that can happen? You learn to love yourself again. You learn to live life again. You lose some weight. You may love yourself again. You know, like, what's the worst that could possibly happen? What do you have to lose, you know, when you already know that path that you're on sucks? You know, so I want to say this is not going to be easy. You are going to fail multiple times. This is a very hard way of living to adjust to after you've lived the majority of your life the complete opposite way. So making that change is going to be hard. There's going to be days where you just want to give up, but you can't give up. You can never give up on yourself. You've got to fight for it. It's not going to be easy. If it was easy, everybody would be skinny, and you know, we'd all sit around and hold hands. You know, like, it's going to be the fight of your life. So if I could look back and tell myself what I was in for, I would have never expected the stuff that happened in my journey in the past 10 months to be my story. You know, like, I wasn't expecting that. I was just going to lose weight and I was just going to fix it all that way with the weight. And it couldn't be more farther from the truth. Yes, I lost weight, but I am not the person I am today without going through the battle that I went through. And, you know, I wouldn't change it all for anything, because I am a stronger person today. I love myself, and I am able to help all of my fans, my subscribers, everybody that's followed my journey. I am able to inspire others, and that alone is just so freaking awesome. So I don't know how many subscribers I actually have, because my thing says different on my dashboard panel of my YouTube channel versus what my channel says. I'm approaching 30,000 subscribers though, and that is so freaking awesome. And to have this many people coming along the ride with me is so awesome. And I love and appreciate all of the kind words that everybody has left for me in all of my videos. And I even appreciate the negative ones, because it's not always going to be perfect. Sometimes you need someone to say, you're eating too much sweeteners, or you're, you know, whatever. I mean, sometimes you just need to hear somebody give you the real truth. And so I appreciate the negative ones too. And then the other negative ones that I'm able to now blow off and be like, you know, like you can't even rock this game right now. Like that's fine. Have your carbs, Karen. You know, like I'm blown away. So I appreciate all of it. It's part of the journey, and I am so thankful I took the plunge February 11th, 2019. And mind you, January 1st, I was going to lose the weight this year. I didn't actually start until February 11th, 2019, because I was planning, researching, learning everything I could possibly learn before I took my first, you know, step in this journey. So I have a lot more videos like this to get you started for the upcoming new year, but I want to urge you to stop thinking about it as the number on the scale you want to be, because that's so not important when you look at what's going to happen to you as a person once you get your journey started and you start going through it and you ride in the roller coaster, and then you're going to be at that finish line with your vibe like up here. Living life again and happy as a clam. So come along the ride with me. Let's finish this. I have 44 more pounds to lose until I'm at my goal weight, but I'm not going anywhere anytime soon, even though I'm going to hit my goal weight in a couple of months. You know, like I'm never going anywhere. You're stuck with me. If you're a follower on this channel, you're gonna be watching more videos, because I have so much more to share. And that's why I want to make this more of an emotional part of my story that I want to share. So, because I'm proud of that. But I hope this was inspiring. Please comment below with video topics you'd want me to talk about in the new year. Because I mean, my life couldn't be more different. I've learned a lot in 10 months. So yeah, comment below with any topics that you would like me to go over, and let's do this together. Come on. And don't quit. So anyways, I'm Jess, and you're watching Keto Rewind. We'll see you at the next video.